Good morning. This is the overnight. This is the morning edition. It's my weekend. I didn't get time to do a Giants and Yankees video, so here it is. Giants finally won a game for the first time in 2025, and that was thanks to the defense. And it was Jackson Dart's first start as he didn't turn the ball over. I mean, he was good in the first half. He made some throws. He had that first drive was really good, and then he looked completely different. After he tweaked his hamstring. Couldn't run. Stood in the pocket. Held the ball too long. You got sacked 5 times, something like that. So, and then after the game, when the game was over, Dable's hugging Dart like he won him the game. Like, did I miss something? Did I miss some, did he have some game-winning touchdown drive? Or did he have 3 touchdown passes and went over 300 yards? I don't think so. He was hugging the wrong person. He should have hugged Abdul Carter and Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence, because that was the key players of the game. 20 combined pressures. And Abdul Carter had 9 of them. They literally horrified Justin Herbert. Still got to show up that run defense. But, oh no, that was a good game. The crowd was energized after that first. But, still fucking red zone problems. I mean, yeah, the defense gave them 2 very, very short fields. So, they'll beat New Orleans. It won't be easy. I mean, they gave Buffalo fits Sunday. And we lost Malik Neighbors for the year. Everyone's talking about the fucking AstroTurf. And how, they need to fucking change it to grass. Well, what happened to Tyreek Hill yesterday? You're going to change the grass? What? They changed the turf at MetLife 2 years ago. And that's the second major injury. But, here's the thing. When, a player who's not well known tears his ACL, it's no big deal. But when it's a superstar, oh, now we gotta fucking change the field and shit like that. Players know the risks. They push their bodies to the extreme. It's going to happen. Injuries do happen. And it happened to Malik Neighbors. It was bad luck. Yes, he landed weird, awkwardly on his knee. You know what? That shit happens. Unfortunately it happened to him. He's done for the year. Now we go and get a wide receiver. I don't think we're going to go and get a wide receiver. They need to get Bo Collins to step up. They're going to need to, Kafka and Dable have to figure out what the hell to scheme Bo Collins and Jalen Hyatt, which I have, I think this team has zero faith in Jalen Hyatt, just like I have zero faith in Evan Neal. And you're not going to trade for a wide receiver. Makes no sense. So, and then you have to get tight ends a little more involved. Theo Johnson's probably going to get a little more involved in the passing game. But we'll see who they get this week. And now to the Yankees. Over the weekend, I saw a lot of Yankee fans get pissed off on how Tampa wasn't helping us. Yankee fans need to fucking realize this. If it wasn't for the Yankees not playing fundamentally sound baseball, making stupid mistakes on the base paths, the manager making stupid bullpen decisions, they wouldn't be in this predicament. And then I got Boston today. And they haven't beaten Crochet. So, if they don't beat Crochet, you know the amount of pressure there's going to be on the Yankees to win tomorrow? To get it to Thursday? And you got to lean on Rodon? And this team needs to manufacture runs other than the home run. They have to. It's the playoffs. You can't rely on the long ball. Because you know what's going to happen. If they fall behind, they're going to want to hit, they're going to want to try to hit the long ball to get them back in the game. They need a different offensive approach. So, the Yankees did what they had to do. I said in the last video, they needed to go 5-1 or better to have a chance for the division. They went 6-0. Unfortunately, Toronto did what they had to do. It is what it is. But so this afternoon, was it 3 o'clock my time? Free Crochet. I know that stadium's going to be pretty buzzing, but you know what's going to happen. Because Aaron Judge goes 0 for 4 today, everyone's going to get on him about playoff Judge. Stanton's going to do his thing. I hope, there's some players like, Judge is coming in on a pretty good, clip. Stanton had a good series. And Ben Rice, he had 2 home runs on Sunday. But this team needs to play fundamentally sound baseball in the playoffs. Error-free. Mistake-free. That's what you have to do. You want to get by Boston? That's what you have to do. You do that, you're going to advance. And I think you will beat Toronto. I believe. I told my Mariner friend, my friends who are Mariner fans, I said, it's about 37% chance to be Yankees Mariners for the ALCS. I'm hoping that happens. But right now, it's about 25%. But this first game is so huge for the Yankees to put the pressure on Boston. And you know how they fared against Boston, and especially at home. So, I'm hoping that this team comes out strong, but they start playing careless baseball, like Volpe with errors, and Chisholm with his throwing errors and shit like that. They ain't gonna win. They're gonna get swept in 2. And it'll be another disappointing year. And especially when, we had the same amount of wins with no Cole, with no our real true ace, Stanton for half the year, and we lost Soto, and we won the same amount of games. And I've been seeing a lot about, the Mets being eliminated, and I've said nothing about it because I'm waiting for the Yankees to, because because I've seen a lot of Yankee fans just just tee off on Met fans on social media. And I'm telling you, Met fans are waiting. They're waiting for the moment you guys lose. And if they, you know what's going to happen. If they lose to Boston, they are going to tee off. You know what? That's why I haven't said a word. I'm waiting. You know, if the Yankees can get to the World Series, that's a big if. You know, there's a tougher road than last year. I mean, last year was, we had an easy road with the Central, but now you got to go through two teams that pretty much owned you this year, and you got to beat them when it counts. This is when it counts. Regular season's over. Hopefully that this team will become. Aaron Boone will have them fucking ready to play, and if they don't have them ready to play, and I've been extremely critical of Aaron Boone with his managerial decisions and lineup decisions and shit like that. But it's his responsibility to get this team to be ready. To be ready. And if they're not ready, they're going to be done. But I think they can beat Boston. If they beat Crochet, they're winning game 2. And they're going to play Toronto. And I think if they're going to beat Toronto in 4. If they get to Toronto, I think they can beat them in 4. So I think that's very realistic. But the first things first is game 1. Crochet, Freed. So that's about that for today. We'll see what the Giants do about a wide receiver, or they'll start, utilizing their tight ends more, or get Bo Collins or Jalen Hyatt involved, or even both. But you can't just rely on Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson, who's been extremely invisible the last 2 games. Extremely. I mean, yeah, this is going to be a fucking run-heavy offense with Scatterboo, and when Tracy comes back, it's going to be an extremely run-heavy offense. Teams now are going to force Dart to throw the ball on the field. So, they're going to test him. And it's up to Brian Dable and Mike Kafka to figure this shit out. I have no confidence in both of them getting that shit done. If you watch the game, that first drive, was really good. And then the next 10, the Chargers made the adjustments. I mean, the Giants had 11 points on 2 very, very short drives. I mean, you take those 2 drives away, and we're talking about a Giants loss here. So, I know Giants fans are excited we got a win against San Diego. Or San Angeles, sorry. Always call them San Diego for some reason. But if they lose to New Orleans, then this fucking win means absolutely just fucking nothing. That'd be fucking wasted. Because we can go to 2-3, and then we can go into Philadelphia with, hopefully some momentum. And, of course, they're going to, they're going to show the fucking Saquon documentary that day that the Giants play the Eagles. That's pretty coincidental. But that week is going to be, they're going to have a lot of upset Giant fans, but We'll see how they fare against the Eagles. I think the Eagles, we can beat the Eagles. I think we can. Because, they're the luckiest team in the fucking NFL. That luck's about to fucking run out, I think. But it's up to the defense. If the front four can get, if the front four can get home, I think we have a big shot to win. So, that's about it for today. I'm going to go back to sleep. I'm kind of tired. But Yankees this afternoon. We need to beat Boston. I can't deal with losing to fucking Boston in the playoffs. The last time, I was pissed off. Can't lose to fucking Boston in the playoffs. So, just can't. You need to figure out a way to beat them. I think they can. But it starts tonight.